Yes, so it's lovely to speak to you properly. And it's really nice to follow on from our conversation the other day.
Yes, yes. Respectful curiosity stayed with me, and I ministered about it on Sunday. And so it wasn't a deliberate policy, but I let it, because of our conversation, I was more comfortable to minister about racism, if you like, and what we must do. And I think that respectful curiosity was a lovely couplet. And I even had one person write to me subsequently and say, thank you for that. So I didn't tell her it wasn't mine.
I feel as if it kind of grew up. I feel as if it's ours, because it really grew up out of our conversation. And I was just really blown away by your ability to embrace a vibrant life with people from different backgrounds.
I've been very, very lucky. And I mean, since our conversation, I've thought about it a great deal. I even remember the conversation that my mother and my grandmother had with me when I'd only been about 2. And I remember it slightly, that you don't say hello to everybody. You only say hello to people you know. So I think that I've always been interested in people as such, and been easy with people. And the business about equality, as the testimonies of Quakers are so important to me. So that's what it's all about. But I'm lucky, aren't I?
Well, and I think we're both lucky. I think that's what really struck me from our conversation, because for whatever reason, both of us have obviously overcome our fear of kind of getting out of our comfort zone and getting into places that are maybe less comfortable for us. That's what really struck me. I mean, am I right that you run an organisation for people who are recovering from addictions?
Yes.
And am I right that you've got 2 different churches using the space above your building?
Yes, that's right. And they're both Nigerian churches. And one of the not patients, I don't like that. One of the members of the organisation that I'm close to and worry about most is a person that's half Nigerian and half UK. Well, he's half Irish and half Nigerian. And the poor lad has suffered lots of trauma. But I tell him that he's genetically perfectly equipped to be a liaison between us and the churches. And I've told the pastor of one of the churches that he's a poor soul that's traumatized, and I had Mark's permission to tell Damilo all of that. So it's going to work, I think, slowly.
And I think what also struck me from our conversation the other day was just that we were both discussing having done things and met people that maybe made us a little bit uncomfortable, but that in the end it had actually been really fun.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm seldom uncomfortable. I once went to number 10 Downing Street because Tony Blair had been highly critical of single-handed practices, general practices. So I made a bit of a fuss, got to number 10 Downing Street, was taken in, and I was assailed quite vigorously by his senior advisor, who's now very senior in the health service. And then about 10 to 15 years later, 10 years later, the message that I was taking got through. It's obviously got through. So I think that's lovely.
That's amazing. And things do take time to change, don't they?
They do. They do.
Anything else that we talked about the other day or that you've thought about since that we should?
if I may say, your conversation gave me so many thoughts. And what I do think is that the reason that meeting for worship is so important is the fact that if you prepare for meeting for worship properly, you can calm your body and you can calm your emotions. And then you allow your mind and your soul, your right brain and your left brain, to play together, to dance together, to talk to each other. And when they talk to each other, you get the opportunity to get values. Whereas I have come to appreciate that part of our spiritual activity is actually inimical to getting together in bigger groups, and that we have to use our rational brain to help our spiritual brain expand to the whole of humanity. And so I think that it's easier for Quakers than it is for others. We've got to teach the process to the world.
Yes, but I guess the other side of that is that it's, as you say, it's not enough to just have the spiritual side. There's also got to be the active bit about getting out of our comfort zones, doesn't there?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That live adventurously. You know, do you use what you've been given in the service of others?